So welcome everyone to the Slovenia Valorant Meetup. This is the second meetup we had. The first one was in January. I'm Zivas, I'll be your host, and next to me is Goran. He's gonna be our speaker today. So who we are is Reveris. We are a esports accelerator. We empower the esports gaming and game dev community. And we are trying to open a hub, a location. You can see David Kene at our location on this meetup. He's waving now. So the topic today is going to be what can a casual player do for the community? And our speaker, like I mentioned, is Goran, who is also a president and the captain of Sneaky Fox's esports team. So we're just going to have a really relaxed meetup here, talking a little bit about Sneaky Foxes and the average player community in esports in Slovenia and in the world. So the first thing I would let Goran tell a little bit about himself, please. We can hear you. Maybe you need to go into the settings.
Oh, these are technical
You
issues.
should hear me now.
There we go.
Yes, yeah. There we go.
Okay, I thought that Foxy muted me.
Wow.
Hi, I'm Goran. I'm a president of newly established Sneaky Foxes esports team that is stationed in Slovenia. We are actually an esport team of casual average players. And we are trying to bring community closer to average players, to guys that are not high tier ranks, that are not Radiants and stuff in Valorant. So this is basically our main goal as a esports team. So we would like to also create the community for average players and also make some tournaments and leagues in worldwide. So I'm glad that we are here from all over the world now already. Yeah, that's about me. I'm 35 years old. I started playing games when half of you were probably just spark in the eyes of your parents. So we started playing games like Super Mario and stuff like that on old consoles and old TVs, the big ones, when parents use you as a remote controller. So yeah, that's basically something really fast about me.
Okay, so the first thing I would like to get into, I'm gonna start a poll. And it's just about a question about going for pro. Have you ever considered it? Are you like afraid maybe that you're not good enough? Have you never even considered it? So I'm gonna just leave the poll up for a little bit, and you can take your time answering this poll while we go to our next question. And so you already mentioned, Goran, that Sneaky Foxes are for the average community, and that's also why we wanted to talk about the average player community today. I would just invite you to just maybe go a little bit into depth more about Sneaky Foxes and what they are, because I presume they're not just about average players.
Yeah, well, no, we're trying to establish actually a community, a place where average players can come to and find other people to play games with, not only Valorant, but also other games. We have now also team for Counter-Strike.
These do Rainbow Six Siege.
And we are making...
I play Siege, I have 1,000 hours.
And we are also making a team for Rainbow Six, yes, and for League of Legends and other games. But this is still in development.
Wait, what happened to Fortnite?
Don't know yet.
We will ask you to not jump into the word of the speaker, please. Otherwise, you are going to be removed from this meetup.
So yeah, basically, we are trying to establish community where people can gather themselves, where they can speak with each other, where they can get friends to play with, where they can enjoy their free time with people from all around the globe. So actually, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we are going to have a section for questions later for you guys to ask. So you can just wait till then, and please don't jump into the word of our speaker. You can also ask in the chat, although chat is moving really fast, we're gonna try to get to you. So the average or casual player represents a big part of every gaming and esports community. They are the main consumers. What can an average player do to be a part of that community? Is it just supporting the pro or semi-pro players, or is there something more than an average player can do?
Well, in my opinion, I think that average players are not just here to watch and cheer for the pro teams and pro players, but they are also here to play games, even if they are not on the high levels. So they can maybe that's what we want to do. So they can maybe participate in tournaments and leagues that are meant only for them, for average players. So they will not come across the pro player team and they will get destroyed in the game. So they can also enjoy it. So they are staying competitive against the players that are similar level than they are. So that's what I think is a good opportunity for average players, because we are in majority. Lots of players are actually casual and average players, and they are only watching and the pro players, because they cannot participate in tournaments for them. So I believe that if you have I don't know 5 friends that are playing in League of Average players in Valorant, I know that they have a lot of their own friends, and the circle can go quite big and wide, and the people will maybe enjoy watching players they know, and because they are on the same skill level, so they can actually I don't know how to say, they can actually identify with them.
Yes.
So it's something that you can't do as average player watching pro players. You can't identify with them because they are so much higher in the level of skill. So it's hard to identify, but it's good entertainment. So why not bring that entertainment with average skilled player also to the community?
Okay, let us check the poll before we move forward. I'm gonna share it with all of you. So since we saw a lot of young faces in here, I know a lot of you are working still to become a pro player. A lot of you also are afraid that you're not skilled enough, which is why we are talking about the average players, the casual player community today. Only if the opportunity comes, and some of you never considered going pro, which is also okay. Playing games just to chill is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. So yeah, okay. So since we had a lot of questions, will someone want to ask a question now for Goran or Sneaky Foxes? Yeah, Omar.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about making a community in like Warzone, because I'm more like of a Warzone player. Uh, I am into Valorant, but I'm not like a pro. So I've been thinking to make a community in Warzone, because many of the players can interact with other players in Valorant and maybe like get along.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what the question exactly is?
It's like making like a Warzone community.
Okay, so would you asking me if we are accepting, or we are thinking about making Warzone community, so you can join on that aspect of our Sneaky Foxes?
Yeah.
Well, definitely we are interested in going in those type of games too. So I think that we talked before the meeting already with you, Omar. So you seem a nice guy. You can find us in Discord, maybe connect with us, and maybe we can talk about having a Warzone part of our Sneaky Foxes, and maybe you can lead that part of Sneaky Foxes. So I think that we are open for stuff like that, so why not?
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Jack Spadicy. You can You can ask your question.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah.
Hello.
Right, so you know about the Rainbow Six Siege thing?
Yes.
Is that like a tryouts for it or whatever?
Well, actually, it is a good you're asking. We have already 3 players in the team for Rainbow Six, so we are looking for 2 more. So you can also find us on Discord and maybe come to try out with those 3 guys that are gonna form the team for Rainbow Six. You can find on Discord.
Do we have to change my name?
Change your name for what?
Like to join the thing, like do I have to put Sneaky Fox in front of my name?
Well, if you're gonna be picked into the team, we're gonna talk about this later. But
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
you're
Anyone
welcome.
else with a question before we move on? Yes, Lanaya?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to raise my hand.
Okay.
I
Let's
didn't
move
quite
on then.
understand that. Yeah.
Let's move on. So we talked about the average and casual players, obviously, and how to be a part of that community, how to help that. So what would we need to build a community for these casual players? Because obviously right now it's mostly built around pro players, right? Most of the communities are built around pro teams, pro players. Do you have, like, there's no wrong answer here, but do you have any idea what we would have to do to make a bigger community for these casual players? So like maybe more sponsors, more media recognition, better community hubs, especially in Slovenia, right?
Well, I don't think that there is actually any community around the globe for only to be oriented for average or casual players, if I say so. So I think that this is the road we are walking now. So I don't really have a good answer to that question, but we are trying to find what will work in the future to expand the community for average players. But hey, today we are here and we are also doing something like that for this. But I think that actually in the beginning, sponsors are not a big thing for building a community, because community need to be healthy from the beginning. So we need to find people that are not toxic, that are, we need to have that,
a fine, like, I don't know how to say that in English either. We need to get the good ones out.
Yeah, we need
from
to,
the pile.
Yeah, we need to find people that are actually interested in working in community, to build the community, to be friendly towards each other, to come and have fun with people from around the world and to enjoy with them. So I think that the best media for this is social medias. So we need to create content and stuff like that for the community and tournaments, so the people will talk with each other and say, hey, did you hear about that tournament, or did you see that video from the guys, and so the word will spread around the world. So I think that is the best way in the beginning to make our community larger.
Yeah, definitely. And while we're on this topic, I'm gonna get to you again, Jack. Just a second. Well, we have a poll and another question that is connected to this one. So this one is more focused on Slovenia, but you can answer it anyway for your country as well. We didn't expect so many foreigners to be here, so we were more focused about Slovenia when we made this meetup. But would you be prepared to put in your free time to help esports grow? Now, it can be your esports, it doesn't have to be Slovenian one. Because a lot of times when these teams are formed, like Sneaky Foxes, you have to put in your free time. You're not getting paid for this, right? So you have to, like, next to your work, you go home from work and you work another couple of hours just to get the team going and to basically keep this going. So I do you think, Goran, while we're on this like poll, do you think we need that people are sometimes I feel like some people don't understand that you have to put in so much work, and that this is not something that just springs money and just bursts out money. Do you
Well,
have any idea how to like get more people interested in this to help the esports community grow without
I-
just expecting to get a fat paycheck from day one?
I think that the right people already know that they need to put time and effort in the beginning for not getting paid. Because if you want to build something, even if you want to build your own business, you need to start from one point. You just can't get, oh, I have now $1 million and I will do something. Of course, it's easier that way, but it's so hard to go that way because it's nearly impossible to get that amount of money to start something like that. And I think that you appreciate more if you put time and effort in something, and after some time it grows into what you wanted to grow. So I think that in the beginning, when you're trying to get to recruit new people in the organization that are going to work for free, it's a great you can see really fast if someone is interested, because when you give him something to work and you give him some timeline to do it, and if they are not doing it by then, or if they are not even contacting you in between or asking a question, you know that they are not willing to put effort and time in it when it will get really hard. Because in the beginning you put someone to do something like really minor task just to see and to test him, but after some time you will give him harder work to do, and if he's not able to do the simple task in time frame that you agreed on, you already know that these people will not work hard for later.
So this is like we were talking before about how to get people, like the right people out of the pile, right?
Yeah.
This is a good way to do it, is to give them some tasks and to see which of them actually come through, even though, you know, none of us are getting paid for this in the beginning.
Well, definitely. We talk, you know, and I have also a family. I have a son, I have a band, I have a job, and I have everything, and still I manage to do things for our team, and I do it even when everyone is asleep. So I really believe in this, and I want to this thing to happen in some manner of time, in the way that we talked about it, to do it. So yeah, that's why I'm putting my time and effort in it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna show the poll that we had just in a second. The questions for those who came in later was, would you be prepared to put in your free time to help Slovenian or other esports community grow? Most people, 50% of people did say that they are prepared to put in their own time for these organizations, or are already doing that. So that's very nice to see. So Juan, you changed your name again. You had a question before. Do you still have a question? Yeah.
Yes, you.
What is face? What was I gonna? Oh, sorry, because I lagged out. My internet's not that good.
Okay.
What is face? Yeah. So it won't let me use the Discord link.
It won't let you use the Discord link.
We'll look into it.
Thank
Otherwise, you
I'll
can
fix
find
it.
us on other social. You can find them on other social media as well. So
Thank you.
Rock will talk with you in comments.
yeah. He's also from Sneaky Foxes, so all three of us are. Okay, so the next question is that we all know that the media doesn't like, you know, violent games. So how do you think we could get around the problem of portraying like shooter games? So this goes for Valorant, Counter-Strike, Rainbow Six Siege, Warzone, all these kind of like that are portrayed as violent games.
Well, I think that now that the world is already accepting that part of community as it's still a game. It's like paintball or something like that. You also go with friends there and shoot with the rainbow bullets and stuff like that. But Valorant, if you're talking today mostly about Valorant, it's good because you can set that you don't see the dead body on the floor. You can just see the banner. So when you shoot someone, he turns into confetti and stuff like that. So it's not. You can also disable the blood and stuff like that. So if we are talking about the people that are from 16 to 18 that play that game, they can actually set things like that. Their parents can do that, or they can do it. So it's not about that. It's about, I think, competing in those games, and I think that people are more acceptable every day towards those games.
Yeah, we're moving forward slowly.
Yeah.
I also had a conversation with someone else in the esports industry once that made a good point, I think. It was from the Sim Racing, so Slovenian Sim Racing, and they actually had a good idea of like trying to maybe in the beginning push more of these sport games more forward, like FIFA, NBA, sim racing, stuff like that, that isn't violent, and that so the people get used to the idea of esports, and then slowly continuing into like shooter games. So you go like baby steps for the people who are against video games and esports. What do you think
No.
about it?
Well, you will always have people that are against something, in this case, video games. So you can't change the minds of them all.
Yeah.
But I think that people that are already open-minded and they will get opportunity like that, I don't know, from a family member or from a friend that he will show or she will show them that it's just a game, that you're enjoying it. It's fun. I think that here we can break the taboos about, I don't know, like the people are saying that if you're playing shooting games that you're aggressive. I don't think that's true. Games actually make me feel more calm after I finish.
You get your aggression out in the game, so you're not aggressive in real life.
Yeah. So I think that's quite a good thing. But yeah, also like you said, the FIFA and the NBA and games like that, of course, because the people are already watching the basketball and football in real life on TV. So the graphics are now so crazy that if you're watching FIFA 21 on TV and your parent come into the room and he will, oh, who is playing? And you will, oh, it's a game. So yeah, that's also one way to show the parents first, maybe, or the people that are not so accepting for the community, show the easy games, like you said,
Yeah,
soccer and stuff like that, football.
yeah, definitely. Okay, so Juan, you had a question. We go first.
Oh, am I unmuted?
No, it's okay. We can hear you.
Yeah, I've got a two-parter. One of my friends got removed, and he said he's sorry for what he did, but he can't join back because he's been removed. And yeah, what's his face? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was allowed to. I got into the Discord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling us that. Omar, you had a question?
Well, yeah. I was asking about maybe like every game. No, like when I come home from school and like I play with my friends, it's like stress relieving. It's like therapy for me. So I don't think like our society, our community should blame us for playing violent games because first of all, I actually learn things from those games. Second of all, I think that like people like should calm down a bit. Like even like our parents, like for example, like I'm a young guy, I'm like only like 15, and like I think like like social media and our society should like calm down a bit and relax about thinking about like the like violent games. So yeah, I think we should maybe like make propositions to those societies and tell them like those games aren't so bad and we actually learn things from them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I have also one thing more to say about that topic.
Yeah, go ahead.
If the it's good when you find people that are not toxic and you relax with them and they're friends. Then this is good. But on the other side, we also have the dark side of the games, and those are toxic people. Because if
Yeah.
the parents would hear those toxic people, they would never let you turn on the computer again in your life.
Exactly.
So, but this is something that the game developers that they own the servers that they are controlling the games. They need to do a step forward there and really live ban those gamers on hardware, because I think that there is still some mild approach there, because they are trying to keep the community, to keep the people that are paying for their service. So I think that they will need to be more strict on their side. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have the last like main question, which is kind of like the main question of today's meetup as well. So how can Valorant as a game help the casual players community, and how can the casual players help Valorant grow? So how can we help each other grow?
Well, I think that Valorant is already helping the average people, because they are the majority that play the games. If you just check the numbers of people that are in bronze, silver, and gold ranks, you see that this is the 70 or 80% of the players. So this is the average player. So this is the majority already. And what can we do? We can do, like I said, the tournaments, the events for those players. So they are not they are not only the events for the pro players. So those average players are cut out there, because they can only watch that. They cannot participate. They cannot compete there. So I think that the window is here, that we need to make tournaments and leagues and championships for those 80% of the players that are in those mid-tier ranks.
Yeah, but here we also go kind of full circle again, right? Because to do that, we need sponsors, and usually you need some money, or workforce, if nothing else, to do those. So we're again going in a circle, like how to get more sponsors to acknowledge the esports community then.
Well, definitely we need to get money flows into those average tournaments, but we need to make first some really good local ones, or maybe region ones, so that we make it fun for the community, so we can really bring the community there. And when we have numbers, so when we have like, say, I don't know, the stream of this event was like, I don't know, 10,000 people watch that stream. I think that with numbers like this, you can really get the sponsors and the money going in, because the same people are watching the pros, that they will watch also the average. At least that's my opinion. I think about it. So I think the real question is how to do it in the beginning without the money. So
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the real question here. But one of the ideas is to build the community with the content first. So with and small events, and to get 10 people here, 20 people there, and slowly grow the community towards the big numbers, and then make some bigger tournament and get some money, or maybe put our own money in it for the prize, and to get to invest in the idea, and then
maybe it comes back.
and maybe it comes back, or maybe it's not, but we put the money on all the wrong places already in our lives. So
yeah, definitely. And like you said, like sponsors, what sponsors want to see is numbers. When you come up to a sponsor, all they want to see is numbers, like what is the value that you're gonna give them, so they will give you this money, or materials, like for prizes. Sometimes they give you like keyboards and stuff like that to use as prizes, but they need to see value in them giving you this free stuff basically.
Yeah, but I think that for keyboards and stuff like that, that's not really hard to get. I think that if you prepare yourself well, you can get those stuff for the tournaments. But
The hard one is to actually get someone to invest money into
yeah,
you and
to
not
actually
material.
get money. I think that's the hard way. But we chose the hard way, so
Well, hopefully it all takes off.
yeah.
Does anyone? Oh yeah, did you want to say something?
No, I say yeah.
Okay, sorry. Does anyone have any more questions from the crowd?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
The community, it's obviously the biggest part of the whole Valorant scene, the esports organization. But what we faced back there was a spamming which is happening all over the game, and
Yeah.
the whole every game, every developer of a game has a certain approach how to delete the account that spam. But how do Sneaky Foxes and those communities actually deal with those spams and make an example of some healthy behavior between players?
Yeah, well, we are really trying to not be toxic in the game because this is the worst thing that can happen. So yeah, we are trying to avoid people like that. Even if someone approached to us and we give him an opportunity to play with us and we play together, and if we see after some time that he's toxic and negative, we will just not play anymore with him. We will explain it to him and try to find someone else, because the team cannot work if one part is broken in that way. So the toxicity in gaming is, I think, the number one problem.
Yeah, we also experienced it today. So I think the best way is basically just ban or kick or whatever it is your option, and eventually they're gonna learn that this is not the way. I think that most of them that were problematic today were also very young, so I think they still have a lot to learn about maturity. So I think that in that case, you just ban, kick. You don't let them back in until, I don't know, maybe ever. Let them learn from this, that the toxicity and these spamming and this kind of behavior isn't going to get them anywhere, and they're not really being funny, they're just making it worse for themselves.
Okay, so here is my next question. So obviously spamming is not good. We all hate it. We all hate it, or all over the globe. But there is a large number of immature kids that are playing actually and love this game. How do we approach to these as elder players? How do we do example? How do we encourage? How do we tell them that their behavior is not good, it's not squished, and they have to change their.
Well, I think that we had some cases when we were playing Valorant. We had some kid that was screaming in the microphone, and we started to calm him down. And after a few rounds, he realized that we are okay guys, that we will communicate with him. And after the end of the game, he was like, "Oh, you are so nice, guys." So I think that you need to counter approach them. You need to be nice to them. Okay, you can't obviously be nice to everyone. You come to the point when someone is really so toxic that you just need to mute him. But you can try in the beginning to calm him down. Maybe he is used. When he starts to screaming, people start screaming back at him, and they're just screaming all over the place. And
they're giving him attention, basically.
Yeah, and if you do the opposite thing, there is quite a few times, I think, that you can actually bring the best out of him. And I think that the biggest part here is the parents' role, the environment role. They need to educate the child in proper way, so he know how to behave. We have here Omar. He's you said 15 years old, so he's a good example from today's session that he behaves. He have good questions. He like to cooperate, and we had also a few guys that need to be banned because they didn't. But in the beginning, we said, "Okay, calm down, guys," and it didn't work. But so yeah.
Yeah, we did try to calm them, like you said in the example. And if that doesn't work, sometimes, like you said, you need to mute, or in this case, you need to kick. Otherwise, we can have a normal conversation either.
For our 15 years old kid, I have a question. So you just faced the situation when we had to kick out some younger players who actually didn't realize what the whole point of the meeting is. How do you now feel that that we accepted you and that it's actually adult conversation where you are welcome?
I think that was aimed towards you, Omar.
Yeah.
The question was for you.
Yeah, we need your feedback. I want to hear your feedback. How do you feel to be the part of this community and this meetup?
Did you mute him by force?
Yeah, there we go.
No, there we go.
Repeat your question, like more like. Can you please repeat it? So I didn't hear you very well.
To repeat the question, yeah, he asked you, how do you feel as a 15 years old that you just faced that we need to kick some younger people like you out of the meeting because they didn't behave? How do you feel that we accepted you because you act like a grown-up, you act like a really good mannered
a proper person?
Yeah, example.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I feel like really respected, and I respect you guys a lot for what you did. And second of all, about like treating like kids who like scream in the games or like those toxic kids. I think that we shouldn't give them attention so that they don't like come with feedback. They don't like give us something up like.
They don't keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and as a 15-year-old from the young community, when I usually like, for example, play Warzone and like I have a toxic kid with me, like I just play normally until he gets bored or he leaves or anything. Like I don't care about the kid. Like or sometimes I just even mute the kid if he's like too.
That's the best way.
Yeah. If you can't get through to them, then it's best to just mute and move on with your life.
Yeah, but like some like rare or special cases, like when I sometimes like communicate with them and they're like, and they calm down a bit, and we have some fun. Like we play like normal gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make some new friendships and.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that is the point of this multiplayer games, is that you find new people to play with, that you find new friendships. That's basically how Sneaky Foxes were made too. It was people playing together, having fun, and then being like, oh, this could be something we can like make out of it. So
yeah, like we have common interests, so let's be friends.
Yeah, exactly. Any more questions, David?
Yeah, I was wondering, there is so many Discord channels, and every community, everybody, either there, if you're a schoolmate or if you work, you create a channel. How do Sneaky Foxes deal with this public, and how do you invite them in your channel, and why is your channel better than my friend's channel?
Well, for the beginning, you can be on every channel you want. Rock here, our Sneaky Foxes vice president, is a great example. If you see his Discord, he has like, I don't know, 1,000 channels there. And I think he's involved in each one of it.
He's modding most of them too, yes.
Yeah. So there is nothing wrong. So if you will always find some content or some people in one channel, and you will feel good about one topics in one channel and about other topics in the other channel. But as we said, when we were doing some kind of market research, we didn't find any community for only average players. Yes, you have the communities like you said, my friend has a Discord server and 20 of us are there and we are talking there. And what we would like to do is to make those people that have channels like 20 people there, 10 people there, to come under our roof so they can do everything that they can do in their friend's channel, they can do in our channel, but even more expand. They can make new friends. And we will try to make, and we are already trying to make, toxicity free channel. So we are banning, no question asked from the beginning, people that are toxic.
No tolerance at all.
No tolerance at all.
Yes.
So we are doing that from the beginning. So it will maybe take a little bit more time to get to the numbers that we want, but when we will get the numbers that we want, I think that we will have toxicity free society.
Well, I think toxicity free completely is kind of impossible, but keeping it to a minimum and like you said, banning people that are toxic like right away so they don't continue being toxic in the channel.
Very nice, thank you. So in the in Facebooks and YouTube channels, you have a description part when you can describe why your channel exists and how to behave. Do you miss this part in the program of Discord, and how do you contact the community and give them some rules of behavior?
Well, on the Discord, Discord I think is the main thing about that, main source
Platform.
for the platform for the community. I think because Facebook is just a social media, just something to represent yourself. I think the worldwide, the Facebook is not even used a lot. It's the Twitter that is used. That's, I think, because Živa posted today on the Twitter for this meetup. That's why we had so many people. If we would post that in Facebook or Instagram, I don't think that we will have so many people from around the globe here. So yeah, we are trying to make approach. We are still on that. We are still doing and developing things like that. All the descriptions that are on our social media platforms are not the end one. We are still in search of our how to say presentation to the community. We are still doing that, but we started already with social media. So we got good feedback, mostly on the social media, our friends and friends of our friends. And here there's someone that find us, like Omar today did. But mostly from the beginning, it's the friends and friends of the friends. And also on the Discord, there are people that we met in the game. So we have also some foreign people there that we met in the game, and we liked each other and we played, and we still occasionally play with each other. So yeah, that's basically for now it, but we are still in finding all the information that we want to put out there.
There is so many social media.
Yeah.
Which social media do you focus first, and which social media do you focus last in the gaming world?
For now, because we started with the Slovenia, I think that on the last place is Twitter, and on the first place is Instagram, I think. So the Facebook is in between, and also this Discord is really different because the people that are already on Discord are already part of the community.
Funny, Twitter. After now,
Yeah.
did you just realize that Twitter is the last?
No, but we already know, because we made the research of the market, that we already know that Twitter, if you want to go globally, is the number one.
But in Slovenia, we're still a little bit behind, and we still have Facebook as the main like platform, and Twitter is still way behind in Slovenia. So it depends whether you want to focus more on the local scene or the global scene.
Yeah, but we started obviously locally, because you need to make a nest where you live first and then expand. But we're gonna do that with the hand in the hand. So we are trying to make we're gonna just have the meetings in the weeks that are coming, how to boost also the Twitter with the community. So yeah, those are the things that we are working on. We have weekly meetings. We have sometimes we have daily meetings that we're discussing things like that. Even when we are playing at night, we are talking about stuff like that, how to do that, and then it's just someone says, "Can we play? Can we talk about that tomorrow?" Yeah. So yeah, we are working on it. I think that it will take quite some time, but as long as we have enthusiasm, I think that we're on the right path.
Is there any, especially for the Valorant, is there any like time schedule? How of the whole channel community? Is there a time schedule? When do we play? When do we educate? When do we just talk? Or it's just free for everyone? Whenever you come, just come in and.
Well, we have sections in the Discord. We have general talk, we have Valorant talk, we have technology talk, music. So people can talk on the community whatever they want in the proper channels. So in the end, the community needs to work for the community. We can't moderate all and put the question and ask people to be involved. But yeah, I think that it's already evolving, that people are already taking the initiative and start talking and making debate on the different channels. But as a Sneaky Foxes, as a team, we usually play, I don't know, I'm joining usually when I put my child to bed. So it's around 8 o'clock. But yeah, usually at night. Only on the weekends when he's sleeping from the 12th to 2, I have time then too. So yeah.
Which topic of the Valorant between the Valorant players is most popular?
I think that the most popular topic are cheaters, actually.
Yeah.
Why?
Cheaters and Smurfs, because when you're playing Valorant and you're not that good, and you really develop a nose to know who the cheater is, everyone who's better than you. Well, that's something for a joke, but yeah, there's really a lot of, but they fixed a bit that part, but now the biggest problem is Smurfs, because they made also that after Think Diamond, not Immortal, they can only play 2 friends together. They can't make a 5 pre-made. Imagine that you grind with 5 friends, 5 months to get to the Immortal, and then the Riot just say only 2 of you can play together. Of course, they make Smurf accounts and they play the games and in the silver or on the bronze, and you get them, and it's like, you know, he has 30 or 35 kills and everyone else in the game have 3 or 4 or 5 kills. So you know that's, and this is really bad. You know, you have especially for us average players, because we don't play for 10 or 12 hours per day. We play those 2-3 hours at night, and you get 2 games in a row like that, you just tilt and you just turn off the computer and say, guys, see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there is so many accounts and sites there that you can buy account. You know, we all know they exist. But at some point, if you're a regular player, you realize that your account is actually way too high in the ranking to play ranking for fun, or I'd say, because we all know rank is a little bit more serious than all other official games. Should we allow more accounts, or should we just, like generally, be focused against Smurfs?
I think that we should focus against Smurfs, because if those guys just want to play with friends, they can go playing unrated. Yeah. The ranks should be only for playing ranks, and I think that they should they should make something like, I don't know, for 2 accounts, or maybe 2 accounts per hardware, because you can obviously have a sibling that play the games also. But you know, you have people that have 10 accounts and play games.
And it's also, I think that, like you mentioned before, like Riot as the creator of Valorant, right? I feel like they're making it worse with like, for example, what you mentioned, that when you're immortal you can't play 5 people like pre-made anymore. Of course they're gonna make Smurf accounts, right? So you're making it worse. And when they changed that from 6 ranks that can, like the difference of 6 ranks that can play together, they changed it to 3 ranks they can play together. Again, they're gonna make Smurfs to play with their friends. So I think that Riot is kind of digging their own grave here a little bit as well.
Yeah, but as long as they get the young players that will use the mothers and fathers credit card,
On
which
skins.
which we all must admit that
Or telephone
the
number.
main reason for developers that are making games, of course, in the beginning it's a baby, it's a child, they want to put out, they want to hear the feedback, but the end game here is money. The end game here is money, and they don't. If we as a community really think that they care about our well-being only, we are delusional here, because
Yeah.
they really, their end game is really the money. But yes, of course, they're trying to make also the community better, and because they need to do it, because you also have, I don't know if you were watching the Ninja stream a few days or weeks ago. He was arguing that he will not play Fortnite anymore because people are his stream sniping him and finding him in the game and killing him, and they're cheering like, yeah, I killed the ninja in the game. So also those the big names in the community, they put the pressure on the developers. So I think that's really a good thing.
No one's gonna listen to someone like me, for example. I'm a nobody, but they are gonna listen to someone like Ninja, for example.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, right, that they have to care about the community at least a little bit, because without the community, there's no game.
Definitely.
So there's like a fine line between caring about the money and caring about the community.
And they are doing that really good. So yeah, they just put out some patch that is really addressing the bad behavior in games, the AFKs, the people that are leaving games. They're gonna put a big penalty on there. You're gonna lose rank points. You're gonna lose rank. So I think they're doing something in that way, but it's still not making Smurfs not making accounts. So that's just, they're just clearing the toxicity part, but that's also good. Yeah, but we also must know that the game is not even 1 year old, so I think there's still a lot to come in the future.
Yeah, that is why I think it's actually, I'm not that mad at Riot, I guess you could say, because I know it's still an early game and they're still trying like their best basically to make it as best of experience as possible. So yeah, I'm definitely giving them time, like with the whole cheating and Smurfs and stuff like that, giving them a little bit of time to like figure out what they're doing before I get mad at them.
We have somebody who wants to say something. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Rock.
Like I joined on my computer, but y'all have removed me on my computer.
Okay. That's probably probably a technical issue. I don't know.
Okay. Do you play Valorant? Do you play Valorant? For Olivia, he left. He left. He left. Okay.
Okay.
The pity. Okay, but we all let me get back. We all have Smurf accounts. Okay, we all have Smurf accounts, but we don't have Smurf account because you don't. You actually don't. No.
I don't need to Smurf because my rank is so low. What am I gonna Smurf in? Iron?
Okay.
I'm silver. I can only Smurf in iron.
I mean, why not? You can always smurf in there.
Also, don't think like I don't.
And imagine
If I
being
get
bad
beat-
then in the Smurf account.
Yeah, if I get beat as a silver, fine, right? I'm not gonna then like I don't get the point of smurfing because you feel bad or something like that. Like I get when people make it so they can play with their friends that are lower ranks, for example. I can kind of get that. They just want to play with their friends. I'm still against it, but I can at least understand like where they're coming from, right? But just to smurf because like you want to feel better about yourself is something that I will never understand.
Yeah, the Riot really did not do himself a favor for Smurf accounts when he changed in, I don't know, in 2 acts ago, that it was, I think, 6
Yeah, like I said, yeah.
ranks. It was 6 ranks in between you can play with your friends, but now it's only 3, 4? 3. They didn't really make themselves a favor with doing that. They just made an excuse for a lot of people to make Smurf accounts. Well, but in Sneaky Foxes, we had sometimes a problem with one of our players because he really climbed faster than us because he had a lot of time playing also during the day. But he was so good to us that he actually went playing and intentionally D-rank so he could play with us. So he didn't make a Smurf
also
account,
not good.
which is also not good, but hey, he's a good guy for doing that.
Yeah, he's trying. He's trying.
Yeah, but that just proves the point of like that it was a bad thing that the Riot there was a bad thing that Riot did a smaller range of ranks, you know, because people just started intentionally throwing the game or creating Smurfs because of it.
Yeah. So if I go on another topic, how to educate people how to play Valorant. Obviously, Valorant is not easy to play. It's easier than other same type of games like Counter-Strike and so on. But we all know there is many websites that you can learn. They give you practice tools and teach you how does community and Sneaky Foxes help those young players who want to succeed. So yeah, want to succeed.
Yeah, well, that is something that we are working on. We're gonna make some guides, video guides for the community, for each agent. That's something in our plan to do in the future. And we're gonna make it as simple as possible because you can find the detailed explanations on YouTube. You can watch 1 hour video for Omen and you can just fall asleep if you're not into that depth. So we're just gonna make, I don't know, 5 to 7 minutes long videos for each agent to explain all the main things, because everything, the basics, yeah. So it's like, I don't know if you call it for dummies. So yeah, that's something that we will prepare in the future for our community.
But other websites are well more developed. You are just starting. Will you start at the beginning, or do you have some bigger agenda behind?
Well, let's just say that this is something that we are talking a lot about in the past few days, weeks, and because we made some projection where we want to go as a community for average players. But where does this end? Where is the end point? Where will be the turnaround point when we will need to think about going with the pro players to find that? But I think that is still something to think about. We are talking about that topic also. But we started as a community for the average players, and we will continue that path as long as we will see it makes sense. So yeah, we will make those videos, those content for average players. Well, at the end, it's not just average players. I believe that also the high tier rank players, let's say not pros, because the pros are not looking at anything in YouTube. They finish their job playing and training and they do other stuff. They don't watch YouTube videos. But the high tier players, competitive players, I think that we will also address those players. They will also find the content for them. Well, especially the bloopers, the funny stuff, because they will find maybe themselves killing us when we play unranked or something like that. So I think that we have really a big spectrum here to address the community. So yeah, but how long we will do that and maybe turn the table around and start doing it for the pros. Let's just see where the road will take us.
I have one last question for you. So you're obviously much older than everybody else, and the people that listen are probably kids. You also have your own kids. What will you bring to those young players, and what experience do you have, and how will they help you on your path of foxes, sneaky foxes, and the whole
I think that
organization?
Yeah, I think that in our headquarters, that we call it for now, I'm the one that is calming everyone down. That is,
you are the head, and the rest of the corners.
that is trying to be the
Voice of reason.
Yeah, voice of reason.
The father.
The father figure, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think that, of course, with the age, with the years of life that passed behind you, you become wiser. And that's I think I can give to my co-workers, my friends here in Sneaky Foxes, and also the community. That's why we maybe started a little bit different than other esports team are starting, because they start from the beginning and we want to be the best. We go to the best, but we started a little bit slower, a little bit calmer here for the average players, and maybe the road will take us. Maybe none of us will play in a year or two the game anymore. Maybe we will just administrate the Sneaky Foxes, and maybe we will bring people in. We will get some experience. We will know the games. We will know the community, and from there on.
But you're doing it out of love, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So does anyone else have any other questions before we conclude this meetup? No? Okay. Oh, Omar. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so it's not really a question, it's more of a proposition. I would like to make and lead the Warzone clan of the Sneaky Foxes Discord server, and like in the community itself. And I think a lot of I'd personally call my friends and my regiment in Warzone to join your Discord server and my clan. And I think it's going to be a really good idea so that you can also have more members in your clan.
Well, definitely, like we said before, I'm glad that you are here today, that we met you, because you look really nice and reasonable, 15 years old. I was not like that when I was 15 years old, I can guarantee you that. So yeah, I'm really happy, and we are glad to make a meeting with you in the week that is coming. So yeah, just join our Discord channel. I think just talk with Rock. Rock will point you to the right points, and we will talk about it. And definitely we are interested in someone that will drive the community for Warzone, and we will have meetings with us. So yeah, I'm happy to meet you here, Omar, today.
Okay, so to conclude today's meetup, we talked a lot about sneaky foxes in general, so what they representing the average players community, and then we also talked about what to do for this average player community in general to be able to thrive more and to be more recognizable, maybe not as much as pros, but just to be more recognizable, because it is obviously the biggest part of esports isn't the top tier players, it's the average players. So making use of that and creating community around that. Before we leave, I'm gonna spam a few links in the chat. The first one is your feedback. We always get your feedback about maybe another more questions or themes that you would like to know, how you thought the meetup was. We also have a meetup group and a Slack channel. And for to know about more of what Treveris does as a company and more meetups like these, you can just follow us on Facebook and you'll get all the information you need to know about similar events like this. I would also like to invite you to Women in the next few weeks. There's going to be Women in Gaming meetup and a League of Legends meetup that we are also hosting. So thank you everyone for coming here. Again, my name is Jiva. I was your host today, and thank you Goran from Sneaky Foxes who came to answer all of our questions. And I'm hoping I can see you on our next meetups as well. Thank you, everyone.